Hello guys, it's your boy the Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another video now. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now let's talk about it. Charles-Martin and Luis Ortiz fighting on New Year's Day. This is my post-fight review. Shout out to Luis Ortiz for getting the win after coming from behind, suffering 2 knockdowns and stopping Charles-Martin in the 6th round, man. Luis Ortiz, congratulations on the win, but he definitely looked his age. You know, he's listed at 42 years of age, but he could be older, as everybody keeps saying. But listen, man, I know that both of these guys have been inactive. It was something that I said in my preview video before. And Luis Ortiz looked every bit of his age and more. He was dropped twice, looked very unsteady against Charles-Martin, and looked like he was on his way to losing, man, pretty comprehensively until that 6th round. I mean, this is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. One punch can literally change the whole landscape of a fight. And that is what happened here, man. Because Luis Ortiz was looking very, you know, he was just looking all over the place, man. I haven't seen him look that bad before. Very disoriented, no balance. It didn't look like he had any of his legs behind him. And, you know, you had to have the feeling in there that if it was somebody, you know, that could dig, like maybe like an AJ or somebody like that, they would have disposed of Luis Ortiz, man. But listen, shout out to him. He got the victory over Charles-Martin. He said after the fight that he was never, you know, he was never worried any time throughout the fight. And like I said, there was a bit of ring rust there. I mean, he was out of the ring for the whole of 2021, should I say. When did he last fight? I mean, he did have a mismatch in 2020, but his real last competitive fight was against Deontay Wilder, and that was in 2019 in November, a fight that he lost, by the way. But yeah, he hasn't really been active, and for somebody that age, man, is not going to bode well for you. So I do understand that he probably wasn't going to look his best on Saturday night, but it doesn't matter. He got the win. He got a few rounds under him. What's important for him now, Luis Ortiz, is to stay active. He called Andy Ruiz out after this fight, and that's a fight I'd like to see. It's a Latino heavyweight matchup. These two guys have been circling around each other for a while now. It should be easy to make. Both of these guys fight under the PBC. Andy Ruiz, what is going on with him? He's another one. Do you know what I mean? Since he's been with Eddie Reynoso, he's been with him for a while now. Let's be real. He looks like he's regressed. He hasn't really got any better, man. He didn't look any good against Chris Arreola in that fight, a fight that we expected him to dominate. He just about got the win there. He hasn't been active since then. You know, Andy Ruiz needs to get out there as well. I mean, there are rumours about him fighting Tyson Fury in March, but it's looking like that Fury will now be fighting Dillian Whyte after all this back and forth between them two. Where does that leave Andy Ruiz? I'd like to see him and Luis Ortiz get it on. Luis Ortiz called him out after the fight again. It's an all-Latino heavyweight showdown. PBC will be all over it. Do you know what I mean? I don't see why they can't make that fight. Both of them need it. They both need to be active, and I think that it's a good fight for Andy Ruiz, to be fair. If Andy Ruiz can, you know, if he's on his game, then he should be able to defeat this version of Luis Ortiz. But I think it would be another fun fight to watch. So yeah, I mean, if it was the Andy Ruiz that showed up against Chris Arreola, then you can back Ortiz all you want. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of fight, man. So let's see it. A loss doesn't make or break a fighter. Charles-Martin has suffered a couple of them now. Where does he go from here? I mean, he's just going to have to rebuild. He is 35 years old. Where is his ceiling? Has he already reached it? I said in the last video, it's looking like he probably has. I can't really see him picking up another world title again, but he can make some good money out there and have some fun fights in the heavyweight division. So listen, it's not over for Charles-Martin. It was a one-punch knockout, a devastating knockout, one that had him out on his feet. Very similar to the fight between Alicia Baumgardner and Terry Harper. But Charles-Martin, he looked okay up until the loss, man, until the stoppage. So there's a lot for him to work with. He'll be disappointed, obviously, especially losing to Ortiz. You know, maybe Ortiz that is in his 40s, been inactive as well. He probably thought this would have been the right time to catch him. But, you know, fighters can come back. So let's see Charles-Martin back in the ring again. But for me, the winner, Ortiz, should fight Andy Ruiz next. Make that fight in the summer. All Latino heavyweight showdown. Have that outside or something in California. Do you know what I mean? It's a huge fight, man. It's a huge fight over there in America. So let's make that happen. Let's make that happen, man. Ortiz is in a very good position as well as the #1 IBF ranked challenger now. If you're a fighter, you're going to look to try and push yourself up those rankings. The IBF is a good place to go because they're people that enforce their mandatories on their champions. So with Luis Ortiz being in this spot, it's a good shout for any of these fighters out there, any of these contenders, to really go for that #1 spot in the IBF rankings, because you know that sooner or later they will enforce their mandatories. They're not like the WBC that has all this franchise champion nonsense, or the WBA with this whole regular champion nonsense. The IBF are the best out of a bad bunch for me. I've always said it. So Luis Ortiz has got something that some of these contenders might want. So with him calling out everybody, I think that they should go for it and look to fight with him, man, for sure. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, man. That's just mine on this fight here between Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz. Like I said, Ortiz very unsteady at the beginning, didn't look good at all, but landed a great shot to end the fight. And now he's in a good position with the IBF. And he said that he's not going anywhere. He said that he's looking to stay. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below, guys. We'll talk about this more on the podcast this week, and I'll catch you on the next video.